Greetings and welcome back to AP English in our 1010 class. We are continuing our St. Martin's Guide to Writing lectures. This is lecture number 3, covering chapter 3, Writing Profiles. And really the last word on page 54 that's bold is our goal, perspective. Now this one is a little bit different from the assignment of chapter 2, and we need to make sure that we understand how it's different. But it's also similar in some ways, and that often what you're going to be providing here is your own personal perspective on a topic that intrigues you. I'm just with you on page 55. In this chapter, we'll just read together. In this chapter, we ask you to compose a profile based primarily on your first-hand field research, observational visits, interviews. Whether you choose something you know well or something you want to learn about, you'll need to focus on it as if for the first time. Choose details that will not only make it come alive for your readers, but also show them why your subject's intriguing and important. Okay? Now, specifically what that looks like will be greatly helped in your profile models. And on page 56, we're introduced to them for the first time. We're going to look at Brian Cable's visit to a mortuary. We're going to look at Victoria Morey's freagism by finding dinner in a dumpster. We're going to look at Coyne's capturing of Mother's Day in a women's prison. And finally, Thompson goes undercover to learn about harvesting lettuce firsthand. So these are going to be powerful exemplars for you. As you go through this kind of a assignment, page 57, you want to be paying specific attention to specific information about the subject. At the bottom of page 57, a clear and logical organization so that your narrative is clear and logical. And then identifying on page 59 the writer's role as well as the perspective, as we said. That's the key. Notice pages 59, starting on page 59, we have our model readings that you'll be working with at levels 1, 2, and 3. Brian Cable's The Last Stop is about a mortuary. You have a picture of it on page 61 there, which is kind of an interesting, topic, right? Look on page 65, by the way. Notice that you do have a works cited component to this. If you elect to do some reading research outside of in other areas to gain knowledge, you will want to provide a works cited page. We have our second of our models on page 66, our third on page 71, and then finally our fourth model, that's the Thompson, a Gringo in the lettuce fields on page 76. So the goal here is what? Well, now let's look at it on page 81, okay? The writing assignment. Profile an intriguing person, group, place, or activity in your community. Observe your subject closely, then present what you've learned in a way that both informs and engages readers. Suggestion. If you're looking for a fast track to write a paper like this, one of the ways that students in the past have been able to do that is to answer a simple question. Of all the people in your life, who for you is the most intriguing, and 3 reasons why? If the person is still alive, engage in interviewing with that individual. If the person is no longer alive, you might want to talk with some people that knew that individual well so that you can gain, again, our word here is proper perspective, okay? Again, make sure starting on page 81, 82 and following that you pay close attention to the suggestions of your textbook as you write this assignment. Okay? Now this one is a little bit more challenging than the chapter 2 assignment of a simple narrative event that happened in your life, a single event. Because you're kind of stepping a little bit more outside to do some research, to do a little bit of interviewing and the like, to try and come up with something that is important about maybe a person or a place. Now again, to answer the question, and then we'll leave this question as answered for once and for all. Can I use an essay that I wrote from before about, for example, a significant person in my life? The answer, yes, but make sure that you do enough editing and rewriting so that your paper does not come up jacked for the Turnitin score of plagiarism, self-plagiarism. Well, okay, turn you loose with this one. It's a challenge, but it's a fun challenge. Trying to learn something new about an activity or a group or a person you already knew, or maybe somebody you didn't know or a group you didn't know about at all. Go to work, Chapter 3, Writing Profiles. Thank you.